for you. Our family, caring for yours, and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you. Our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Well, if you need flagstone for your new natural patio, Erickson's is the place to find it. We have the largest selection and 15 styles to choose from. And for decorative stone, Erickson's is your best choice. Our decorative stone is trucked in from all over the country. We buy straight from the quarry and cut out the middleman to keep your prices nice and low. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. So he said to me, "Boy, oh boy, do you got the boulders." And I said, "You betcha." And he said, "Do you mind if I cherry pick?" And I said, "Feel free. They're all beautiful and they're all granite. Sparkling pinks, blues, and grays from 4 to 36 inches. And they're all priced right because we buy direct from the source nationwide to give you the look you want. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Point!
Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down.
Ace!
You're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month winds down, LifeLock reminds you to update your software regularly. These updates fix security flaws that could be exploited by identity thieves. But don't stop there. LifeLock offers comprehensive identity theft protection that goes the extra mile. LifeLock not only alerts you to suspicious use of your info, but also takes action to resolve identity theft issues, guaranteed, or your money back. Start your 30-day free trial at LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS. Terms apply.
Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 11:01. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. For Thursday, October 24th, your top story, still seeing delays at the polls.
I'm Jessica Ty. Who should pay for the maintenance at Lambeau Field?
Mostly sunny today, a high of 63 degrees. Clouds on the increase tonight. Rain likely, might get some thunder as well. A low of 49 degrees. Friday, chance of early morning showers, then becoming mostly sunny and a high of 63. 54 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:02 from the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom. Decision Wisconsin, early voting and delays across the state. The Wisconsin Elections Commission says the large number of early in-person voters has slowed down the WISP vote system, which helps voter registration on site. It's all expected to get up and running smoothly. However, Governor Evers on WTMJ's Political Power Hour.
A lot of things have been going on overnight. We believe that it has been resolved and people should not vote today if they're planning on it. We should have that taken care of.
As of Wednesday, more than 10,000 people have voted in person.
Second Gentleman Douglas Emhoff will join some Bucks coaches today for a Get Out the Early Vote block party in Milwaukee. The event is called Dunk for Democracy. It features Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers and former head coach Terry Porter. Maryland Governor Wes Moore will also be there. The block party is this afternoon at Rose Park in Milwaukee's Harambe neighborhood.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. petitioned the U.S. Supreme Court to be removed from Wisconsin's ballot. Kennedy's appeal comes after the state's highest court refused to remove him from the ballot back in September 27th. Kennedy suspended his presidential campaign in August and is currently backing former President Donald Trump. Kennedy Jr. currently is seeking to have his name removed from ballots in key swing states, but remain on the ballot in the remaining states. His emergency petition comes weeks after ballots have already been sent to Wisconsin voters and after early voting has begun.
New details into why Green Bay city officials rejected a current offer by the Packers for a new lease of Lambeau Field. Common Council Board President Brian Johnson says the Packers failed to provide a fair written proposal despite conversations where verbal agreements were made. One of the issues that never got agreed upon, maintenance upgrades that have fallen onto taxpayers.
Well, look, it's like any other commercial property. The tenant pays for it, right? And I mean, look, folks, the city owns the property, right? We own the base of it.
The Packers want to invest $1.5 billion in Lambeau Field over the next 2 to 3 decades, but plans are on hold right now until both the city and team have a long-term lease agreement.
AI isn't just about generating text. It's a powerful assistant that can enhance patient care and help dentists make better decisions.
That's Dr. Amani from Marquette School of Dentistry. Dr. Amani tells Spanning the State how his artificial intelligence modeling works for dentists.
It focuses on analyzing medical data such as dental x-rays, patient records, or even patterns in health behaviors to help diagnose conditions, predict risk, and even recommend treatments.
Dr. Amani says this AI model is even reliable enough to find cavities and gum disease that dentists cannot. Time for news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow lagging 253 points at 42,261. NASDAQ is up today about 80 points at 18,355. And the S&P 500 fluctuating back and forth here from red to green, now back to red, down about a point at 57.96. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. And for details, visit AnnexWealth.com.
A sight we didn't expect to see at Packers practice. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
Sure, it's election season, but there are some things that all of us should still be able to agree on, like this. Elections in Wisconsin should be decided by the citizens of Wisconsin. But our democracy is under threat from radical groups that are fighting to keep the door open for illegal immigrants and non-citizens voting. Your Republican state legislators passed an amendment that would make sure only citizens get to vote. But a network of radical groups and special interests are fighting against it. Groups that support mass amnesty for illegal immigrants, abolishing ICE and funding sanctuary cities, outright socialist, all working together to keep the door open to non-citizens voting in our elections. Wisconsin, we need to protect our elections. Vote yes on the referendum and support Republican candidates for state Senate and state assembly who are fighting to protect your vote. The Republican Party of Wisconsin paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Come on out and see us. I'm at the Blaine's Farm in Fleet and thrilled to be part of the grand reopening of the Waukesha store. That's the one on Castle Road just off of I-94. And it is busy. Watching all kinds of folks come through the doors today. I want to introduce you to Kristen Stewart. She is Chief Marketing Officer here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You're going to make it worth their while today, Kristen, for the grand reopening. Prizes, giveaways?
You bet. We're going to invite all of our neighbors back into our store and make it worth their while. We're got great deals, but then on top of that, we're also giving over $10,000 in gift cards and prizes right here from this store during this event.
The facelift is dramatic, and I know there are improvements to the space throughout. I mean, it looks beautiful.
It really does, and we are so proud to have been in this market for 51 years, but you'd never know it, because we've really upped our game. Lots of great clothing brands that everybody's going to love, sporting goods, pet department has been expanded. People are really going to love shopping this store.
It's so busy, they got parking lot attendants out to help you find a spot. Come on and see us. WTMJ, we will be here until 1 o'clock this afternoon at the Blaine's Farm and Fleet, but you've got today, tomorrow, and Saturday to enjoy the grand reopening at this location in Waukesha on Castle Road just off of I-94.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. An interesting sight at Packers practice. One of Matt LaFleur's best friends, former New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh, who was fired just 2 weeks ago.
Again, he's one of my closest friends. And so we immediately talked, and, I didn't try to put any pressure on him whatsoever. I just said, hey, if you want to stay involved or whatever, the opportunity would be here if you wanted it.
Saleh and his defensive expertise being consulted by LaFleur to help Green Bay's offense as it prepares to face the Jaguars on Sunday. Thursday Night Football features the Rams and Vikings from Los Angeles, and the Bucs return home after an opening night win over the 76ers. The home schedule begins Friday night against the Chicago Bulls.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Jansen & Sons paving time saver traffic. We have a disabled vehicle out in Waukesha County that's just causing traffic to slow down a little bit. It's I-94 East beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down. I do see that a tow truck just pulled up, so hopefully in the next 10 minutes or so this will be clear. But right now, I-94 East beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Right shoulder is blocked now due to a car that's broken down and a tow truck that's trying to get it out of there.
Well, nice day today. Mostly sunny and a high of 63 degrees. Clouds on the increase tonight, however. Rain is likely. Some thunderstorms, potentially, and a low of 49. Chance for morning rain on Friday, then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 63. 58, full of sun in Milwaukee, approaching 11:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Thursday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. We are off and running on a beautiful sunny day here. Feels like fall today. Leaves are starting to fall. That kind of makes me a little sad.
I know.
They were
it's
hanging
like,
on.
oh, the colors. Just stick with us a little bit longer.
Yeah, some beautiful colors, though, as we've noted here throughout the program. And it's a gorgeous month of October. And it continues today. Nice fall day today as we continue to follow some big stories here on WTMJ.
And now it's time for 3 Big Things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, McDonald's facing its first lawsuit related to the recent E. coli outbreak. That outbreak has killed one person and sickened dozens of others. So the man at the heart of this lawsuit, he is seeking $150,000. He got sick 2 days after eating at McDonald's. The fast food chain right now pulling the Quarter Pounder from roughly 20% of its locations. And think about how many locations McDonald's has. I mean, that's a lot. McDonald's right now zeroing in on the onions, not beef, as the likely source of the outbreak. The onions in question come from a single source, which neither McDonald's reps nor federal health officials have named at this point.
Well, the Milwaukee Bucks are making a bid to bring a WNBA expansion team to the city. WNBA currently has 12 teams in its league, but it is looking to capitalize on a record attendance and rating season. In fact, they will expand to 15 teams in 2026. They'll add a team from California next season, and then 2 teams for the 2026 season, one from Toronto, one from Portland. There's thoughts that they could move beyond those 3 expansion teams, however. And Milwaukee not the only city showing interest. Philly, Austin, Kansas City, Miami, Nashville, Charlotte, Denver, among the other cities showing some interest, according to the Sports Business Journal. Women's basketball does have a history in Milwaukee, going back to the Milwaukee Does in 1979. They only had 1 year in the Women's Professional Basketball League. Yeah, so you've got some commonalities or some offshoots with the NBA franchise in a particular market, like the Minnesota Timberwolves. Their WNBA franchise is the Minnesota Lynx, right? There's some connection there. So perhaps the Milwaukee Does could make a return. Peter Fagan, Bucks president, is going to join us coming up at 12:35 today. We'll talk to him more about this and the Bucks start to the season and what to expect at Fiserv Forum on Friday.
Speaking of WNBA, New York Liberty, their ticker tape parade just happened.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the celebrations are still going on. The actual parade started a little bit ago. Lots of fun. Number 3, union members reject a proposed deal with Boeing. That means the strike, it is still going, and it's costing the airplane manufacturer billions of dollars. The offer, a 35% pay increase over 4 years and a $7,000 bonus for each member. ABC's Trevor Oltz on what the workers are asking for.
The union has said that they want 40% and they want pensions to be reinstated. And with this strike ongoing, Boeing has already announced plans to soon lay off 17,000 workers. That is 10% of their global workforce. As on top of that, in an earnings call, they announced more than $6 billion in losses.
Boeing's new CEO says the company is at a crossroads and needs a fundamental change in its culture to stabilize its business. But bottom line, no deal, offer rejected, strike continues.
Yeah, pension's a big deal. Those have been gone for about 10 years for Boeing employees, so they're trying to get that back, and also a pretty hefty pay increase as well, and a bonus. But the strike continues, and billions of dollars continue to be lost. 11:14 on WTMJ. ABC's Karen Travers joins us on the other side. The latest on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Karen, with us after this.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Flanner's Home Entertainment. Was watching TV last night with the family, and we were watching it on a 50-inch TV that I bought from Flanner's in 2005. That's right. Still going strong. It's a beast. Can't kill it. Still a great TV, and the folks at Flanner's helped me buy that back in the day. That's right. The early days of HD TV and 1080 and all that stuff. Well, technology has certainly changed. But the local experts at Flanner's, they remain the same. Best products, best installation teams for those bigger projects, just knowledgeable experts at Flanner's, up and down the line. If you're looking for a technology upgrade at your place, maybe a better resolution, better picture, better sound for that game or movie night or whatever it is you're doing with the family, you connect with Flanner's. They have the installation experts and the solutions to help simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the big box stores. No help there. No after-sales support. Nothing. You work with locally owned Flanner's. You'll know the difference. Quality service, best brands, guaranteed best prices. It's all right there. Stop by Flanner's in West Dallas. They got a beautiful showroom also in Grafton. You can visit Flanners.com anytime. It's sound advice at the best price with Flanner's Home Entertainment. Just press play.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected, and no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at GoConnectChiro.com.
A lot of sun today and a high of 63 degrees. Rain rolls in later tonight, expected. Might hear some rumbles of thunder as well, with a low of about 48 degrees. Tomorrow, more sun and a high of 63 after morning rain. It's 56 degrees in Milwaukee at 11:17. Well, less than 2 weeks away from the election and the campaign trail remains hot. Kamala Harris with the town hall last night. Former President Trump in Georgia. He is spending the day in Arizona. A lot of airline miles, a lot of messaging, a lot of opportunity to win over undecided voters. As we welcome in ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, let's start with Kamala's event last night in Georgia. You know, Donald Trump wasn't terribly interested in addressing comments by former Chief of Staff John Kelly, but Harris certainly was.
Yeah, she was. I mean, she spoke in D.C. before she went up to Philadelphia for that CNN town hall last night. And earlier in the day, she had said that these comments by John Kelly, telling the New York Times, you remember he's the former chief of staff for Donald Trump, retired four-star Marine. He said he believes that Trump fits the definition of a fascist. And Harris said yesterday that this is a window into who Donald Trump really is. She says, we know what he wants. Unchecked power. The question in 13 days will be, what did the American people want? And that's, of course, kind of a big question in this race right now. Last night, it was the first question she got right out of the gate at the CNN town hall, and she was pretty fired up talking about this, saying, this is a 911 call from Kelly to the American people, and that people should pay attention to this because these are the people that knew Donald Trump the best, and that they're not political people. These are military people, referring to other cabinet members who said similar comments. But I think otherwise, in that town hall, it was a wide range of topics that undecided voters were asking her. And she was on the defensive multiple times, whether it was on the economy and taxes or on immigration. Clearly, these voters wanted to hear policy details from her. And it was notable how even as she would start on that, it would be a pivot back to Donald Trump and why she believes he's unfit to serve.
Vice President Kamala Harris has struggled with questions about how she's different from President Joe Biden. And certainly in the beginning, she didn't seem like she wanted to distance herself, even though some voters are definitely eager for a change. Biden recently said she could cut her own path if elected. It kind of appeared like last night that she was embracing that opportunity, a lot of times talking about a new approach.
Yeah, trying to. Was she successful? That'll be up to the voters. But it's a tricky balance to try and toe that line of I am different, but I also want to try to get some credit for things that people like that we've done over the last 4 years while also not trashing your boss. She's still the sitting vice president. Sure. She said yesterday that her administration won't be a continuation of the Biden administration, that she brings her own ideas, her own experience. And this is a big thing that she's been talking about, that she's a new generation of leadership. Obviously, she is 60 compared to President Biden at 81, Donald Trump at 78. She talked a little bit about her housing plan, her approach on small business, but, it's not clear again if those details that she was giving were enough for the undecided voters in that room and paying attention at home.
It's a huge question, right? Because the rallies now are taking on, or these town halls are taking on more the feeling of political advertising. It's more about what the other side won't do instead of, here's what I plan to do.
Yeah, and I think another important part of it too is there wasn't another debate. Last night was going to be a debate. That was what CNN had proposed. Harris accepted. Trump did not. So they said, great, we'll do 2 town halls. Harris accepted. Trump did not. The Harris campaign is looking for moments, things that can be big, splashy events, because there isn't another debate. There is no big convention speech. You got to create your moments. And they were hoping that last night was something like that people were paying attention to it. She's doing a big event in Atlanta, in the suburbs tonight, with former President Barack Obama. Bruce Springsteen will be there, Spike Lee, Tyler Perry. They're trying to do these things to, one, mobilize their voters, rev them up, but also to get attention, knowing that they have to get people paying attention right now with 12 days out.
Candidates always spend a lot of time talking about their strengths, but she was asked about her weaknesses, which I thought was interesting. A lot of times you hear, in a job interview, you'll hear about that. Well, this is ultimately a job interview, right? Well, what did she say?
Yeah. She talked about how it might be seen as a weakness, but she sees it as a strength, that she relies on staff, that she leans on her staff hard as she is making deliberations, that she really consults with smart people and is a thorough preparer, always wants to know more, always asking. And I know this from covering her. You see this in pieces about her. She is asking for more information. Now, that maybe isn't an answer people want to hear. It's always a tough one when you do that in a job interview, which is essentially what she's doing, a big, big job interview to the American people. But that's where she went with that one last night.
Donald Trump targeting Christian voters very heavily here, going back to last weekend and including this week. Is there a segment of the population that Harris is still working to win over?
Republicans, some disaffected Republicans who are not comfortable in the view of the campaign voting for Donald Trump. That's why you saw her lean in on those messages yesterday about what John Kelly was saying. She's going to be talking about abortion tomorrow night in Texas, a very big event. Texas, not a battleground state, but they're going there to highlight what has happened there to specific families and what that would mean for families and people across the country. And, I think that is a group that they're trying to really still rev up. Women voters, and not just Democrats. They think that has a cross-party appeal.
Vice President doesn't usually talk about her religion, but she revealed more last night. What did viewers learn?
Yeah, she talked about her pastor, how that was one of her first phone calls after after President Biden called her and said he was dropping out of the race, and talked about the importance of her faith and how she prays every day and how that keeps her grounded. I think it was certainly trying to connect to people out there. It's not something we hear her talk a lot about on the campaign trail, but again, that's why you do these types of events to be like that.
ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers. Thank you, Karen. We'll check in again soon.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Yep, you too. Coming up next, happy Croctober for you and your dog.
Well, it's like Black Friday in here. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano at the Blaine's Farm and Fleet grand reopening of the Waukesha location just off of I-94 and Moreland Boulevard. Want to introduce you to Sarah Gilbertson. She is an associate buyer with Blaine's Farm and Fleet, but more importantly, Sarah, this is your family. You are part of a third generation of ownership of this local family-owned company.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're headquartered down in Janesville. We've been in business for almost 70 years. My sister and I are the third generation, so we're super excited to be celebrating the 51 years and a bunch of brand new stuff at the Waukesha store.
Well, it sure is a lot of brand new stuff. I almost didn't recognize the place. You've kicked out the side end there that gives you more storage, and then that allows you more retail space, and so many people come through the door today.
Yes, yeah, it's super busy. It's been really fun just meeting all of our neighbors.
What do you have offered for people? I know there are prizes, there are giveaways. You're going to make it worth their while for coming out.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we have a ton of prizes. I think over $10,000 in prizes.
It's a good number.
But I'd also just encourage people, you hear Blaine's Farm and Fleet and you might think that's not a store for you necessarily. But we have everything from Carhartt to Ariat to laundry detergent, pet toys.
Halloween candy. If you haven't done that yet, it's all out here for you.
Yeah, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, just about everything. You can find it here. So I would encourage everyone to come check it out.
Great to see you, Sarah Gilbertson. Celebrate with your family as well. Thanks for having us, WTMJ. We're going to be out here until 1 o'clock broadcasting live. It's the grand reopening of the beautifully remodeled Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Waukesha.
It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better.
AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
I can get just about anything for your dog these days, right? That includes Crocs.
Crocs says it's sold out of its new line of boot clogs for dogs in less than a day. They go for $50 a pair and come in 3 different sizes in shades of hot pink and green. Interested pet owners can go online to find out when they'll be back in stock or check out resale websites. And by the way, you can dress up like a Croc for Halloween. The company's selling customizable costumes in the shape of giant green clogs with giant gibbets charms to match. They come in variations of right and left. Perfect for coordinating couples. Those go for $30 each. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
So for your last-minute costume idea, but apparently you'll have to wait till the next batch or shipment for Crocs on your pooch.
I know. I was just trying to go to the website just to check them out myself, and it is slow motion for me. It is slow motion. I don't know if it's because they're all sold out. More people are trying to look at them right now as well, but I've been waiting 30 seconds. Still hasn't loaded.
They're exactly what you think they are. They are Crocs that look like you could maybe hang them from your rear view mirror as some sort of decorative thing in your car. But no, you put it on your dog. I don't know that my dog Knight would wear these. His feet are a little different, given he's a greyhound. I don't know if Baxter would climb into these.
Oh, he is definitely not climbing in. I've tried the winter boots. This was years and years and years ago. Just to keep the salt off. I know they have dog-friendly, pet-friendly salt. Oh, it finally loaded. Did it finally
load? There it
is. Okay. No, we are sorry. The product you were looking for cannot be identified.
Oh, no.
What? Okay. All right. The winter boots, though, he wanted no part in those. And I know a lot of you know if you have tried those boots. Some dogs, they don't mind and it works. But I think the majority of people, the dogs walk around like, burr, burr, what are these? Like, get these off. It just doesn't work well.
I think for these to work, you have to permanently have them in sport mode. It's 11:28 on WTMJ.
Hey,
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If you can dream it, Rob and his family can build it. Family-owned Excel Custom Decks delivers decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com to learn more.
Hey, Britt Floyd is coming back to Milwaukee with a pair of shows May 31st and June 1st at the Riverside Theater, and we are giving away tickets on Spanning the State. Today from 1 to 3, you can check out the show and have your opportunity to win tickets. The iconic Britt Floyd returns to the Riverside. One lucky winner will get a pair of tickets. Celebrate 50 years of Wish You Were Here with Britt Floyd. What a stunning production they bring to the Riverside Friday, May 31st and Saturday, June 1st.
Between market volatility, inflation, global unrest, and the presidential election, there's a lot going on. Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Have a plan built that matches up with your investment and retirement goals. Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It's time to put things in order. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. AnnexWealth.com.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Say goodbye to shedding, thin, and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume from New Nordic.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
It's 11:30. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 24th. Your top story, could more basketball be coming to Milwaukee?
I'm Jessica Ty, taking another look at a dangerous intersection.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 63 degrees. Rain likely tonight, some thunder possible, a low of 49. Chance for some morning rain on Friday, then mostly sunny and a high of 63. 58 and sunny in Milwaukee at 11:31. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, could Milwaukee see another professional basketball team? The Bucks ownership group recently placed a bid for the next WNBA expansion franchise. Dale Koinga from the MMAC tells WTMJ it wouldn't surprise him to see it happen.
It is a uphill, hard sell, but I always think Milwaukee puts its best foot forward, and we consistently get things like the RNC, and that momentum keeps building.
Some of the other cities in the hunt for an expansion team in the WNBA include Charlotte, Philadelphia, Austin, and Kansas City.
Expressing concern over a dangerous intersection in Fredonia. It's a spot where a school bus crashed and rolled over last month, leaving 8 Random Lake students hurt. Neighbors talked about the intersection at yesterday's Traffic Safety Commission meeting.
Cars are coming up over that hill so fast, we can't see past those trees, and it's deadly. It's deadly.
During that crash we mentioned, the Ozaukee County Sheriff cited 32-year-old Becca Stevenson of West Bend for failure to yield from a stop sign after her Jeep crashed into the school bus at County Highway E and J Road.
Harley-Davidson is lowering its revenue forecast for the year, with motorcycle revenue down 40% in the third quarter. The company's third quarter numbers released this morning. Harley shipped 39% fewer motorcycles than it did a year ago. Milwaukee Business Journal says overall revenue, which includes the company's accessories and financial services divisions, decreased 26% in Q3.
National Lead Prevention Week is in full swing, and Milwaukee officials are encouraging families to engage in lead prevention practices.
You wouldn't know it, but a good amount of houses in Milwaukee still have some form of lead in it. Dr. Julian Theobald of Wisconsin Poison Center.
So any home that's built in the 1970s and earlier has an opportunity to have leaded paint in there.
Over time, that paint can break down and result in lead particles floating in the air that can be inhaled by adults and children.
The most detrimental parts of lead poisoning are their effects on the neurologic system, like the brain and development.
Dr. Theobald says the Wisconsin Poison Center has resources for lead prevention. Sean Brenda, WTMJ News.
The vast majority of Milwaukee homes were built before the U.S. banned the use of lead-based paint in 1978.
Well, nearly $20 million is going into the conservation of the Milwaukee River Basin. The U.S. Department of Agriculture awarded the money to Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewerage District, which runs a conservation partnership. The partnership works with local leaders, farmers, and conservationists to preserve land on both sides of the river and try and prevent curb runoff. Milwaukee River Basin spans more than 880 square miles across southeast Wisconsin from Fond du Lac County all the way to Lake Michigan.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Take your home from clean to immaculate. Save up to $100 on select models right now at West Bend Vacuum Center, including central vacuum systems, HEPA Vacs, and cordless vacs. Save even more when you trade in your old vacuum. Shop Sebo, Mila, Simplicity, and Riccar vacuums. Don't miss the big sale going on now at West Bend Vacuum Center. For an exclusive pricing on everything through Christmas, visit westbendvacuum.com or call 262-335-2222.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Interesting sight at Packers practice. Former New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh on the sidelines alongside his good friend Matt LaFleur.
Again, he's one of my closest friends. And so we immediately talked, and, I didn't try to put any pressure on him whatsoever. I just said, hey, if you want to stay involved or whatever, the opportunity would be here if you wanted it.
Saleh and his defensive expertise being consulted by LaFleur to help Green Bay's offense as it prepares to face the Jaguars on Sunday. Football tonight, it's the Rams and Vikings from Los Angeles, and basketball tomorrow at Fiserv Forum. The Bucks return home after that opening night win over the 76ers. They'll take on the Bulls Friday night in the regular season home opener.
Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Not too bad. No big crashes to let you know about. We do have a couple disabled vehicles out in the system, though, including one I-94 South collector at the ramp from College Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked there due to a car that's broken down. And then we're still dealing with, the one in Elm Grove, actually, out in the Elm Grove area. That just cleared, which is some good news. But we also have one I-43 North beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Left shoulder is blocked there due to a disabled vehicle. I-43 North, about a mile beyond the ramp from Moreland Road.
Nice fall day today with a high of 63 degrees. A lot of sun during the day, and that changes tonight with increasing clouds, rain likely, some thunder possible, and a low of 49. Chance for early morning rain on Friday, then mostly sunny with a high of 63. Weekend full of sun with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. It's 58 and sunny in Milwaukee, approaching 11:37.
The dread of daylight saving time. Do you dread it, Craig?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like that days get shorter. I like it when days are long. I like it when it's light until 8:30 or so. I don't like it when it gets dark at like 4:30.
You like to spring forward, though.
I like to spring forward, yes, for the reasons that I mentioned. I like longer days. I know how it works, and we get shorter days here once you get beyond a certain point of the summer. I long for the longer days.
You long for the longer days. I was trying to look on the bright side, even though it's going to be dark.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, okay, if we fall back, I'm going to the Packers game that Sunday with my mom, and I thought, okay, let's be positive about this, right? And it'll feel like, right? It's going to feel like at least it's not so late. That's how I'm going to think about this.
Okay, well, it's a way to spin positive. I am not one who has my routine severely upended by daylight saving. Like, it doesn't really mess with my rhythms.
Do the kids? What about the kids?
No, they don't really know the difference, right? They're getting up when they're getting up. I'm noticing now that it's certainly darker outside when I'm getting up at 6:30 or so in the morning than it is during the summer. That's the expectation. I get it. That's what happens when days get a little bit shorter. So it doesn't really throw off my rhythms. It just leads to this. You get up, it's dark. You get home from work, it's dark. Like, just seeing the light of day, that kind of mind shift can be, I don't know, frustrating for some people.
I think you do feel it in your body. And I think that's a complaint for a lot of people. But think about how much easier this is these days, whether you're falling back or springing forward. Most of everything that we have that tells time does it for you these days. Not everything. I know somebody out there still has a cuckoo clock, right? You probably have to change your stove and your microwave. But phones and so many other clocks just do it on their own. TVs just do it on their own these days.
Do you actively know when daylight savings is? You probably do now because you're going to the Packer game. But they've moved it back, right? So they're maybe trying to shorten the period of time that we have to live in this world?
I always feel like when you go to bed, I would always change it when I went to bed. So then when I woke up, it was fixed. Maybe the car. The car could be another one where you have to still change it. But it's nothing like, I was reading this article, I think it was yesterday, and it was a guy talking about the dread of daylight saving time. But think about the old days when you had to change all of our clocks. Well, this particular man, he was talking about resetting all the clocks in his house, behind or ahead, depending on what time of the year it was, and how much work it was. And he was talking about his dad, and the chief cause of his pain was his mother, because she loved clocks so much. She had 14 of them scattered all around their house. 14 clocks.
Well,
so
by the time you get them all changed, daylight saving is over.
There were clocks in his parents' bedroom, the laundry room, 2 guest rooms, the car, and on the back patio. And he said, changing all of those clocks was annoying and time-consuming. And it wasn't his mom who was doing it, even though she loved the clocks. It was the dad. It was the dad who had to do it. So it didn't take him long to figure out how to change the microwave's clock. But the stove, I guess it was brand new. He remembers that. One of the clocks, at least, always caused him grief. I'm sure one of them did if they had 14 in the house. But yeah, I just feel like it's so much easier these days.
It used to be an October thing, and now it's a November thing. So again, they're kind of moving this. Some
I don't
states
even remember. When did it move? I don't remember that.
That's a really good question. I would give you a year, and I would end up being way off. I feel like it was within the last 5 years that it's changed. Maybe Gina can fact check us on that a little bit. Some states don't subscribe to it, right? You go out to Arizona, forget about it. No daylight saving out there. Don't believe they do it in Hawaii either. So
parts of Indiana.
Parts of Indiana.
Part of Indiana, I feel like that is always on our. It is always on our time, but then other parts that aren't.
Okay, now that would be incredibly confusing to me because Indiana is somewhat divided with Eastern time and Central time, and now you're telling me there are portions that don't subscribe to daylight saving.
I
couldn't live there.
I'm trying to remember back to my college days at Indiana University. No, that's probably what it was. You've got the one area that's on Eastern time, the one that's not, because sometimes you would call home and you'd be on the same time zone, and sometimes you wouldn't.
That would throw me off. I couldn't do that. I couldn't live in Indiana just for that reason.
I feel like the farmers, though, aren't they they're just going outside, and if it's light, it's light. If it's dark, it's... The farmers are a big part of why we have this.
Well, sure. No, I get that. And a lot of equipment is now automated, but certainly farmers are out there working in the fields, and the more daylight, the more opportunity they have to work in what is a tireless job, no doubt about it. I don't like it. I don't think we should have it. I'd like it to go away. I'd like us to adopt this from Arizona. It's just an annoyance, but you get over it after a day or two. Settle into your normal routine.
I'm just having a nice visual of my grandma's old cuckoo clock at this point.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to change it. And
I never had to change it, but yeah, I liked it. Ding, ding.
Maybe we should ask Dr. Weston about this. He joins us coming up on the other side. Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin. I want to ask him about this E. coli outbreak as well, which is a big deal with McDonald's and affecting 49 people, variety of states. Quarter Pounders now off the menu. What is it? How do you know you got it if you get it? Listeria, E. coli, not good stuff here in the world of food. It's 11:42 on WTMJ. Dr. Weston joins us coming up in a couple.
Get your rock solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vetrano here. Come on out and see us. We are broadcasting live from the Blaine's Farm and Fleet Waukesha location, so it's just off I-94 and Moreland Boulevard. How come? grand reopening of this location here more than half a century, and it is grand indeed. I want to introduce you to Brian Menny. He is the store manager here at the Waukesha Stop. And Brian, I got to tell you, I was telling you earlier, so many places you go today, they're understaffed. That is not a problem here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. You have so many members of your team who are here to help.
Yes, absolutely. So when we throw celebration events like this, the whole family comes together for Blaine's and takes care of the store, takes care of the event, and makes sure that we are all here for our neighbors.
A lot of special things to see. I noticed DeWalt, Milwaukee Tool, Craftsman, all with tents set up outside.
Yes, absolutely. We got demos going on outside, once again, like you said, with Milwaukee. We got DeWalt, we got Hobart Welders, and then even we got our dog wash, our brand new dog wash that we have on site, self-service. That's amazing. That's been taken off. That's just been huge.
I bet. A lot of dogs here today. Also, this remodel here, what does it allow you to do here better for so many of your neighbors here in the store?
It's just a better environment. We just created a better shopping experience. The whole building's been completely renovated from inside.
I didn't recognize it pulling up.
No, from inside and out. We got a brand new BOPUS area, which is beautiful. A brand new parking lot, a brand new storefront. We relaid out the inside of the store for a better shopping experience. So everything here is just better.
Congratulations. It looks fantastic. WTMJ will be broadcasting live here at the Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Waukesha for this grand reopening celebration here until 1 o'clock. Festivities through today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercier here. The Fox and Hounds is a Wisconsin treasure. With the fall colors here, the drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds is a must-see. So is that patio in the woods. You got to check it out. It's gorgeous. Savor a smothered sirloin steak, beef short ribs, seafood, the pecan-crusted salmon, even steak and lobster, and your second dinner is free. Desserts and those famous ice cream drinks, free too. I love the chocolate cake. Unwind with an old-fashioned, bourbon, Manhattan. Choose from 100 wines on a brand new wine list as you dine in one of those gorgeous 8 dining rooms. It's the best dining value anywhere, as your second dinner is free. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive to see the breathtaking fall colors of the Kettle Moraine. I recommend the Friday all-you-care-to-eat fish fry. It is one of the best. Go out for a free dinner tonight. Tables are open. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Oh, it sounds good, John. Hey, Greg Matzik here for Siding Unlimited. Siding and a whole lot more. Boy, they do everything possible to beautify your home's exterior. Now's about the time to take inventory. Those windows, you might be feeling some of that cool, drafty air on the inside of the house. That is not good. How are your roof shingles? Doors okay? Everything sealed up nice and tight? If you're having issues, take some pictures. Bring them out to Siding Unlimited. Have them help you out. Pella Windows, installed by Siding Unlimited. There you go. It's a match made in heaven. In fact, Siding Unlimited is known and recognized by Pella as their National Platinum Certified Contractor of the Year. 4-time winner of that prestigious award. That means the best products have the best installation teams at Siding Unlimited. The number one choice for you for anything on the outside of your home. Siding, windows, doors, roofing, decking projects, patios, you name it, it's Siding Unlimited. Visit them in Brookfield, right near Gerke's Corners off Larry Court. 665 the address. They're waiting for you. So what are you waiting for? Visit sidingunlimited.com.
As you age, you start noticing pain in your joints that didn't used to be there. But you don't have to live in pain. When joint pain becomes a reality, schedule your free pain evaluation with Rejuvenex. We'll find where your pain lives and inject powerful, FDA-approved medicines that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. While treatments like stem cells can cost close to $10,000 per joint, at Rejuvenex, the cost for your injection can be as low as $65, and almost all major insurance plans cover our treatments, so you may not have to pay anything at all. Call us now to schedule your free pain evaluation, because I'm pretty sure we can help you. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, where we can alleviate your pain and rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Nice fall day today, a high of 63 degrees, all sorts of sun. Tonight, different story. Clouds roll in, rain expected. Might even hear some thunder tonight with a low of 49. Tomorrow, some morning rain, perhaps, then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 63 degrees. It's 58 and sunny in Milwaukee at 48.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you.
Time for a weekly wellness check with Dr. Ben Weston, Associate Professor of Emergency Medicine at the Medical College of Wisconsin, Chief Health Policy Advisor for Milwaukee County. Are you a fan of daylight saving, Dr. Weston, or not so much a fan?
I am not so much a fan of daylight savings, but part of that is because I have little kids, and I think for anyone with little kids, they know that daylight savings is a miserable time of the year.
Yeah, we agree on that one. Absolutely. There's dread. There's dread with daylight savings, and it throws off your rhythms and whatnot. And perhaps some story for another time next week. We'll dive into more.
But I do enjoy the light in the morning. So that is one thing.
All right, fair enough.
You got to look on the bright side in some capacity.
That's exactly right. Half full.
Dr. Weston, one of the big stories that we've been following now here is this McDonald's E. coli outbreak. And we do have a man in Wisconsin who is sick. You also have now, which is new today, you've got a man, not the man in Wisconsin, at least that we know of, but who's filing a lawsuit because of this. But what caused the McDonald's E. coli outbreak, and how is it being investigated?
Yeah, so the exact source of the contamination isn't quite clear. It looks like it's either the onions that they put on the Quarter Pounders or the actual beef patty on the Quarter Pounders in McDonald's. But like you said, this is not a small issue. There's 10 different states. It's been about over 50 people affected, and even one death. We're seeing, like you mentioned, some effects here in Wisconsin as well. But there's a big investigation going on. The CDC has prioritized this. They fast-tracked it. It's called a fast-moving investigation. And so they're trying to not only find the root cause and track cases, but also make sure that whatever the contaminant is tracked down and removed from that supply chain so more people don't get sick.
Yeah, my question here, Dr. Weston, is if it's on onions, can it end up on other things? I mean, how does this spread? And then what symptoms do you need to watch out for?
Yeah, it's a good question. So it doesn't seem to be on other McDonald's products, even that have the onions. So it might be the way that they kind of package and ship their different products. But E. coli, it causes your typical GI symptoms, the things that everybody tunes into the radio to hear about. So that's stomach cramps, diarrhea. It can be bloody diarrhea. That's something that's kind of a typical thing with E. coli that you want to be especially cautious about. Vomiting, sometimes a little bit of a fever. But what's tricky about it is these symptoms can be delayed. So it can be 3 to 4 days after you ate the food. So you want to be cautious, not just that day, but a few days out. And as far as spread, it's usually spread in this sort of way, through contaminated food or contaminated water. But it can spread person to person, and that happens when your hygiene isn't up to par. It's called fecal-oral spread. We won't talk about what that means, but if you think hard enough about it, you can figure it out. And that's why after going to the bathroom, it's important to wash your hands really well.
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned the delayed in symptoms, because that was something I was going to ask, because the man who's suing, he's looking for $150,000 here in this case. He says he got sick 2 days after eating at McDonald's, so that definitely jives with what you were saying. You mentioned one precaution there, washing your hands, but what are some other precautions people can do to stay safe, and what's being done right now to control the outbreak?
Yeah, so what's being done? McDonald's and local, national public health agencies are moving quickly to control this outbreak. So, for example, McDonald's has stopped serving their Quarter Pounders in a lot of states, including here in Wisconsin, while they dig in and figure out which ingredient is it that's contaminated. But like I said, other items at McDonald's have not at this point been linked to the outbreak. But it's important to be aware. So if you've eaten at McDonald's recently, if you begin to develop those sort of symptoms, especially a few days out from eating, you want to look into getting medical attention. And we talked about, bloody diarrhea. That is a bad symptom to have after eating food. So if you're having that, you want to seek some medical attention. And again, precaution or prevention is key, and that is also washing hands, especially if somebody else in your house is sick, with anything for that matter. Be sure there's good hand washing going on in your house.
Dr. Ben Weston joining us here on Wisconsin's Midday News, our weekly wellness check. We've all gone grocery shopping, Dr. Weston. We've seen the organic produce next to the non-organic produce and wondered, why is this so much more expensive? What are some of the reasons? And does organic translate into better?
Yeah, you always kind of feel like you should buy the organic, and then you see the price, and you're not quite sure if you should buy the organic. So there's reasons for those higher prices, though. So one reason is how the food is produced. So organic farming follows these strict guidelines set by the USDA, to keep everything natural and chemical-free. So that means no pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, but that is more work for farming, and it's lower yields for farming as well, which gives you those higher prices. But on the plus side, it is better for the environment, so you're supporting sustainable practices as you do that as well.
Are they healthier, organic foods?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. It's not black and white. So some studies suggest they have higher level of certain micronutrients, especially antioxidants and vitamin C. When you look at, the major nutrition items, protein, fats, carbs, not much difference there. Really, the differences that people are talking about is these additives, the things you're not eating with organic foods, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides. So if you're going to buy organic, you want to focus on fruits and vegetables that have the higher levels of pesticides. So these are usually ones where you eat the outside of the food. So not things with a rind or a peel, but things where you eat the whole thing, like a berry or greens or, clementines, peaches, apples, things like that, have higher levels of pesticides. But in the end, what matters most, organic or not, is eating a healthy diet, which includes lots of fruits and vegetables. So even if you can't buy organic, still buy fruits and vegetables, and you'll get lots of benefit from them.
So not necessarily healthier, but potentially safer. I would imagine that translates to disease prevention, like cancer, heart disease, right? Fruits and vegetables. As long as you're getting that nutrients in, wash it off, do whatever you need to do to make it ready to eat. But the key is that you indulge in those items.
That's right. So we can say for sure that fruits, vegetables, whole grains, these are crucial for reducing risk of chronic diseases, whether they're organic or conventional. As far as whether organic foods themselves reduce the risk of cancer and heart disease, it's hard to say. There are studies that show, of course, that people who eat organic are healthier. But the fact of the matter is people who eat organic also often do other things that are healthier in their life. So that leads to some confounding in these studies where the results are a little bit more questionable. That said, eating pesticides, chances are that's not a good thing. So if you can afford to, buying organic of certain types of higher risk fruits and vegetables may have benefits. But again, like you said, in the end, just eat lots of fruits and vegetables, no matter what they are, and you'll get good benefit there. And organic is just an added plus.
Dr. Weston, I'm curious, what are you having for dinner tonight?
What am I having for dinner tonight? I think we're having, I'd have to go look at the old whiteboard, but I think tonight is Taco Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's ground turkey tacos tonight.
Oh, turkey tacos.
I like that you have a whiteboard for this.
I do too. I
That's
love that.
fantastic.
We've started doing the whiteboard. That's about a month old, and boy, it makes a big difference with no arguments at dinner time. We know what's coming.
Oh, that's good.
Is that more for the kids or is it more for you? Who benefits most?
It's about 50-50. It's for the kids. It's also so my wife and I don't have to sit here at 4:30 and saying, "Oh, geez, what the heck are we going to do for dinner?"
All right, I want to dive into this more next week.
I wonder
like
how
this.
much healthier the turkey tacos are compared to normal. Because even just, now that's getting cooler, we're talking and thinking chili. One of my girlfriends was texting saying, hey, do any of you guys have a good recipe for turkey chili? Which I've never made in my life, but I think people always think healthier
I
with
made that a couple weeks ago.
You did?
Great.
Yeah.
It's all about the fat content, right?
Oh, yeah, turkey chili is delicious. I do agree. You got to get the high-fat turkey. If you get the lean turkey, it's just not as good. I'm a proponent of fat is okay. So we do the high-fat turkey, and it's delicious.
There you go.
Aren't you curious what's on the whiteboard tomorrow night on the weekend
I'm very curious about this. We need another segment on this next week, Dr. Weston. Hey, appreciate your time. We'll check in again next week. Good luck with your tacos tonight.
Thanks, Dr. Weston.
Sounds good. Take care. We'll talk to you soon.
Yep, you too. It's 11:57. We'll call it here on WTMJ.
Here's what Tammy Baldwin thinks about President Trump and you.
Donald Trump might be one of the most offensive and hateful and unacceptable presidential candidates we've ever had. So what does that say about the people who support him?
Tammy Baldwin is a liberal snob. Voter out.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
Hey, Sidex and WTMJ have partnered up once again. If your shower's looking nasty, that tub space is just gross, needs an update, right? WTMJ and Sidex have paired together to give away a tub or shower conversion. This is your chance. A full makeover could come your way, valued at up to $10,000. Here's what you do. Take a picture of that nasty shower and tub space, then text the word creepy to the WTMJ Talk and Text line. That's 855-616-1620. Send that picture in, and you could win a full conversion from Sidex. For contest rules, visit our website. Just visit WTMJ.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, West Bend Vacuum Center and Abby Home. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. Yet at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Elmbrook Family Dental, a great dental team from right here in Wisconsin. Dr. Eric is great. He's born and raised in Elm Grove, and he's the expert when it comes to cosmetic work with Invisalign. Dr. Eric's used Invisalign himself. He knows that would help him treat patients. He can help walk you through the process. The website is elmbrookfamilydental.com. 3 locations, 2 in Brookfield and a brand new spot in Wauwatosa. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
He told us to load 4 yards into his 8-foot bed. But we knew that 3 full, honestly measured yards were going to fill his truck bed to the rim. After we proved that, he told us the other guys have been telling him he's been getting 4 yards in there for years. Honest measurements and honest folks who just want to do you right. So you come back. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. We did the math. When you buy bagged mulch from the big guys, you pay $50 a yard. Why pay more for inferior mulch? When you buy from Erickson's, you'll get premium mulch for almost half the cost. And you'll see that even our economy mulch is better, for less than half the cost of bag mulch. And either choice is made with premium colorant that lasts longer. Erickson's Landscape Supply. High quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection.
Hey, at Total Wine & More, you'll love what you find this Halloween.
Me thirsty.
Oh, hey, Frankenstein. Did you enjoy that Cabernet?
Oh, good. Want margarita?
Well, all the villagers are raving about this tequila.
Ooh.
And we have it at the lowest price in town.
Economical.
With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Give the star in your life the brightest gift in the world. Name a star after them. This is Rocky Moselle with International Star Registry. For $59 and a call to 800-282-3333 or visit starregistry.com, you can name a star for birthdays, weddings, or even memorials. Over 45 years, we have named millions of stars for celebrities and individuals from around the world. The star you name will be recorded in book form in the U.S. Copyright Office. Visit starregistry.com or call 800-282-3333.
Protect mom's assets, protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 12:01. I'm Greg Natzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Thursday, October 24th. Your top story, working through the voting tech issues.
I'm Jessica Ty, using AI for more than just writing papers.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 63 degrees. Clouds on the increase tonight. Rain likely. Some thunder possible. Low of 49 degrees. Rain could hang out tomorrow morning, then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 63. 59 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:02. From the WTMJ Breaking Newsroom, Decision, Wisconsin. Several communities across the state continue to experience delays for in-person early voting.
The Wisconsin Elections Commission says a mass influx of early voters has slowed down their WisVote system, used to verify voter registration on site. The group is now working with local municipalities to resolve the issues, but says the delay is not just affecting WISVOTE label printing, but also some non-election related state systems as well. The delays were first noticed in Glendale on Tuesday. Mayor Brian Kennedy telling WTMJ,
"My clerk tells me that the person at the state said to her, we didn't anticipate this level of volume on the first day of early voting."
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The commission says the issue should not prevent any voter's ability to vote in person absentee.
The city of Green Bay is pushing back on claims by the Packers that it's holding up a new long-term lease deal for Lambeau Field. Alderman Bill Galvin says the city has done no such thing. He says the Packers have held up agreements after delaying to submit written agreements to city officials after multiple meetings with verbal agreements.
The city spent a considerable amount of money hiring a reputable law firm to represent it during these negotiations. And even they told us it's not worth coming back if this is the way the negotiations are going to be handled.
The team wants to invest $1.5 billion in Lambeau Field over the next 20 to 30 years, but only after getting a new lease agreement in place. The current lease is set to expire in 2032.
The deadly E. coli outbreak linked to McDonald's Quarter Pounders in Colorado has led to a lawsuit. News Nation's Nick Smith.
The lawsuit is filed in Chicago on behalf of a man who says he ended up in an emergency room after eating the burger in Colorado. His lawyer says he is also representing at least 10 other victims. Nearly 50 people have been sickened and one person has died. The CDC is investigating the sandwich's onions as the possible cause. McDonald's says it is committed to fully cooperating.
One Wisconsin resident is among those to have gotten sick, though the State Department of Health Services says they were exposed during out-of-state travel and not at a Wisconsin McDonald's.
Using artificial intelligence for public health. A researcher with the Marquette School of Dentistry tells WTMJ Spanning the State how AI can be used by dentists.
I imagine AI will assist dentists by analyzing patient data to create more personalized care plans. And I think the goal is to move toward preventive care, where we catch problems like tooth loss before they happen.
Dr. Amani says the AI model he works with analyzes dental x-rays, patient records, and even patterns in health behavior to recommend treatments even before patients meet with a dentist.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow trying to fight back here, down still 170 points at 42,345. NASDAQ is up now 122 points at 18,400. S&P 500 also up today about 12 points at 5809. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Whoa. Who was that at Packers practice? Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
This report sponsored by Fox World Travel. Go, Fox, go.
Hi, it's Rose Gray from Fox World Travel, inviting you on an unforgettable 2025 bucket list adventure. We're guiding groups of local travelers to some of the world's top exotic destinations, including Australia and New Zealand, the Galapagos Islands, Costa Rica, Peru, Morocco, Turkey, Egypt, and Kenya. Our award-winning experts crafted group tours with Insight Vacations, Globus, and African Travel for your peace of mind. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Let's explore the world together.
WTMJ's Vince Petrano here. We are live at the Blaines Farm and Fleet location in Waukesha. And if you have not been here in a minute, you won't recognize the place. It is the grand reopening, the store newly remodeled, and we are celebrating. Mark Hastings is with me. He's the CEO at Blaines Farm and Fleet. You know, Mark, the place looks amazing. This location opened more than half a century ago, but it looks brand new.
No, thanks, Vince. I appreciate it. Yeah, we have been in Waukesha for 51 years, and this building was getting a little bit tired, but we also needed to expand it to add more warehouse space. The sales have grown so much that needed more space, and so we put a big warehouse on the side, cleaned up the drive-through, which I think, in my opinion, has the best drive-through or BOPUS experience in retail.
You know, I've enjoyed watching you interact with your neighbors here, your customers who walk through the door. They're like, "Oh, what are you here for? Toys?" And you point them right in the direction. But I know you enjoy doing that and meeting all the folks who shop here.
No, absolutely. I've been in retail for 36 and a half years, and if you don't love retail, then you don't want to be in this business. But it's, I think it's just a big passion of mine.
Something that is a unique fixture here. You've installed your first self-service dog washing location. People are really enjoying it.
No, well, it was interesting. We had a little VIP event last night, a ribbon cutting, and the mayor came out and he goes, "I've used the dog wash twice, and people are coming from other communities because this one is so doggone nice." doggone hot. But it's on the north side of the parking lot, outside, easy to get in and out. It's heated in the winter and air conditioned in the summer, and it's a great place for you to wash your pet.
Oh, Mark, congrats on the grand reopening. It looks fantastic. You can join the party. I'll be here broadcasting live until 1 o'clock, and things continue into the weekend tomorrow and Saturday as well at the Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Waukesha.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey, riding with you every mile since 1977.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Interesting side of Packers practice. One of Matt LaFleur's best friends, former New York Jets head coach Robert Saleh, in attendance yesterday, expected to be today. Saleh and his defensive expertise being consulted by LaFleur to help Green Bay's offense as it prepares to face the Jaguars on Sunday. Saleh is not expected to have anything to do with Jeff Hafley's defensive plan. Thursday night football, it's the Rams and Vikings from Los Angeles, and the Bucs are back home following an opening night win over the 76ers. Home schedule begins Friday night as the Bulls visit Fiserv Forum.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now. We do have one crash I want to let you know about. It's in between the River West neighborhood and Shorewood. Crash on the exit to Locust Street from I-43 South. Once again, our only crash to report is on the exit to Locust Street from I-43 South. We do have a couple disabled vehicles, however, that are slowing things down just a little bit. I-43 North, a little less than a mile beyond the ramp from Moreland Road. Left shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down there. And then over towards the Delafield neighborhood as we go over in Waukesha County. In the Delafield area, there's a disabled vehicle on the exit to Wisconsin 83 from I-94 West.
Beautiful fall day today, a high of 63 degrees. Tonight, well, rain, likely. Increasing clouds, some thunder possible at a low of 49 degrees. Chance for some of that rain to linger into Friday morning. Then becoming mostly sunny with a high of 63. No rain in the forecast for the weekend. A lot of sun and temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 50s to the low 60s. 59 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:10.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
Thursday edition of Wisconsin's Midday News. Hour number 2, Greg and Jessica here. I don't know why it feels like Friday to me. I feel I'm a bit off today. Something is a little bit off. You ever have those days?
Do I have to call you tomorrow, wake you up, and tell you to, hey, come on in?
Please remind me that I need to go to work. Maybe it's because I'm getting up and it's dark outside. We had the daylight saving discussion. I don't know. Every once in a while, you just have those days. Yeah. I'm here physically. I promise you that.
I see you.
You're looking at me.
I hear you.
All right. Well, do our best to get through the next hour of the program.
No, just kidding.
I don't know. Maybe this will be an exciting next hour. Who knows? It's 12:11. There are some big stories that we're following here today as we flip to the noon hour.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Vice President Kamala Harris bringing out a star-studded cast as she looks to secure more support before the election. And the breaking news this afternoon is pop superstar Beyonce is set to appear with Harris at her event in Houston on Friday night. That's according to a number of sources, number of outlets now reporting that. Before we knew that, we were going to tell you this. Harris is hosting a rally in Atlanta tonight alongside musician Bruce Springsteen and former President Barack Obama. So she's got a lot of people coming out for her when it comes to the stars. Meanwhile, the VP's husband, second gentleman Doug Emhoff, will campaign for her here in Milwaukee this afternoon. That's coming up in about 3 hours here. He's speaking at a Team Harris Walls block party in the city. Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers will join Emhoff. So will former Bucks head coach Terry Porter. Emhoff then heads to a second block party in Kenosha tonight. And on the other side of the aisle, and with just 12 days to go until the election now, former President Donald Trump campaigns in Arizona and Nevada today. Trump's rally in Vegas includes Charlie Kirk, Tulsi Gabbard, and Vivek Ramaswamy. There's also a musical performance by Common Kings.
I was looking at Trump's schedule today. It doesn't have anything listed for the state of Wisconsin, at least not listed. That could certainly change, but it definitely takes time to sort of get an event up and running. So the pre-prep is it's a thing. There's no doubt it's a thing. A lot of time in Arizona, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, some stops in Michigan, but quiet in terms of Wisconsin visits for former President Trump, at least for now. That could certainly change momentarily. Well, for the first time, we're now hearing the 911 calls from the July 13th assassination attempt on former President Trump. Butler County, Pennsylvania, releasing more than a dozen. Here's just a sampling.
Yeah, they just tried to kill President Trump. I might want to make a note of that.
Yeah, that was one of the initial calls. It continues.
We're at the Trump assembly, and there's a guy shooting.
Okay.
He's been shooting up the place.
Yeah, it's from a patron of the rally.
Gunshot at the Trump rally.
Yep,
Gunshot.
the police are on the way.
Well, you better get over here quick.
Yeah, you can hear the urgency in the voice there. Of course, Trump was grazed in that shooting. One person ultimately killed, as was the shooter. 2 others critically injured.
I mean, we know what happened, but it's something different. It kind of gives you a different feeling to be able to hear those 911 calls. Well, a major airline is testing new boarding technology. CBS's Steve Kathan reports.
When it comes to boarding a flight,
you're now inviting those passengers with small...
American Airlines is testing new technology that would send an audible signal to a gate agent if someone is trying to get on early with the wrong boarding group. It's been rolled out at 3 airports so far, Reagan National in D.C., Tucson, and Albuquerque, and the airline says the results have been good. It's thought the technology will speed the boarding process and prompt flyers to get in the correct group to begin with. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
I think this is hilarious.
Right, you get publicly outed, and you're just
right?
like, oh, man. Every once in a while it happens. It's not often, but you'll be standing in line, and you're part of boarding group, 3, and somebody from boarding group 4 somehow sneaks ahead of you. Every once in a while, the person taking the ticket, if it's a physical ticket or, mobile boarding pass, will say, I'm sorry, we haven't called your group yet. And it is sort of that walk of shame where you have to go back to the end of the line, and you're like, oh, man.
But here's the thing. Why? Why do you want to get on that plane any earlier than you have to? There's only one reason for me personally that I would want to, and I can think of maybe 2 reasons. One, and I'm gonna put these kind of in a nutshell. I suppose if you have little kids and you just want to get them situated, right? And then maybe on the flip side, if you have older people where they need a little help, I can see that. Or if you have a carry-on bag and there's not going to be enough room in there, and you want to make sure that you don't have to end up checking it when you never wanted to do that. Those are the only 2 reasons. Otherwise, I would be happy to be the last person on that plane. I don't mind.
I'm with you. Less time on the plane is okay with me. If it's a shorter flight, maybe. I don't know. But if I'm in for the long haul, I don't need to be getting on that thing too soon.
I'll sit out here and
unless I was
have
upgraded to first class somehow, and then I'm cool. I'll get on before the pilot at that point. 12:15 on WTMJ. Lots of interesting things happening here in the city of Milwaukee. Joel Brennan is the president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. He is always on the pulse of what's happening. He joins us, our weekly conversation, after this.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
Oh, it's the next read in my stack here. It's for the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. It is my reminder I need to book a grooming appointment for our dog. Yes, our 80-pound greyhound needs a nail trim. And no, I am not the one to trim the nails of our 80-pound greyhound. He doesn't like it. I don't like it. The Hounds and Tap takes care of it. Professional grooming, doggy daycare, doggy boarding, all right there in Menominee Falls in a beautiful 12,000 square foot facility. The best part is I could stop in and grab some food from a food truck, watch a game, get a nice cold beverage, while Knight's getting his nails trimmed. Just sort of hang out. It's the Hounds and Tap. Yep, they got an indoor-outdoor tavern inviting you to socialize with others while your dog does the same thing. If you're headed out of town for the weekend, you call the Hounds and Tap. If you got a longer than expected work day, the Hounds and Tap can help you there too. Check out the Facebook page. You'll see dozens of pictures. They upload this frequently throughout the day. Happy pups enjoying their day at the Hounds and Tap, where every day is a play day. Food trucks, bingo, fundraisers. Every Sunday is a family day, so bring the family out to the Hounds and Tap in Menominee Falls. Tell them I sent you, It's a gorgeous place run by wonderful people. Visit them at thehoundsandtap.com.
When it comes to accurate, reliable election information for Wisconsin voters, visit the official site. It's myvote.wi.gov. It's the big cheese, you could say. It's your one-stop source for official Wisconsin election information. Find your polling place, see your sample ballot, make sure your registration is up to date, and more at myvote.wi.gov. Sponsored by Wisconsin Elections Commission, aired by Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hey, shine on, you crazy diamond. Not talking about Joel Brennan, who's sitting right across from me, although it's a mantra to live by. Hey, we're giving away Brit Floyd tickets here. If you've not seen a Brit Floyd show, they are fantastic. They bring all the production of great historic Floyd shows, and they're celebrating 50 years of Wish You Were Here. They'll play the album in full at their shows Friday, May 31st, and Saturday, June 1st. Both shows will be at the Riverside. Tune in today on Spanning the State from 1 to 3 for your chance to win a pair of tickets to Brit Floyd and their return to the Riverside. 1 to 3 this afternoon, Spanning the State, your chance to win 2 tickets.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Joel Brennan is the president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee, our weekly check-in. He's always on top of things. The pulse of Milwaukee run right through Joel.
Always on top of things. You're voting early, Joel. How did it go? And I want to ask you this specifically because with just the first 2 days, it has been busy, extra busy, and we have seen some slowdowns. What was your personal experience?
Well, I drove by yesterday at Zeidler Hall. I live in the city, and I drove by the Zeidler building, and there was a line, maybe 30 or 40 people at 2 or 3 o'clock, and so I thought, okay, we'll try again. And my wife and I oftentimes commute together, and so I picked her up at Northwestern Mutual.
Oh, that's sweet.
We were driving home. There was nobody in there at 5:15 or so, and so we walked right in. The whole experience took 15 minutes, and I can tell you that because they have these special parking spots outside that'll say, 15 minutes for voter parking. Well, we were in and out in 15 minutes, so I didn't get a ticket. I didn't get anything.
I always wonder, do they actually give tickets for that? Because I have definitely parked in those spots too, but where I vote, it is so quick. It is so easy. Knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it now, but it has been perfect. So I never worry about that. But I always kind of wonder, are there actually ticket checkers out there checking that 15 minutes?
They didn't have to last night. And I'll tell you, the young woman who checked me in, and the reason I did it is so I'm actually working on election day. I'll be working at Central Count where they open up all of the absentee ballots, and everybody who voted early have to do that over the course of a single day. They don't get to start to even do anything with those until the polls open. But the young woman that checked me in, she's a student at MATC. She said she had, she went to school yesterday, but then started work, I think, 3 or 4 o'clock, and I think the polls there are open until 7. And so it was a very, she checked me in, gave me the stuff. I went in, there were a couple of other people there, and it was a very efficient process and very effective. And again, for whether you're heading out of town, you have something else to do, this is something that we all have the ability to do. And I think now, rightfully, both parties are saying, go out and do this. That it's no longer an ideological separation. It's if you need the opportunity to do this, you do it. And we all should be for that.
It's interesting because it just a reminder that November 5th is the end of the election period, right? And people think that's the day. It's the day you have to do it. I'm wondering if some thought Monday was election day, or Tuesday, I should say. But nevertheless, getting out there to vote, we've seen record turnout in different states. But more and more candidates are pushing this. Joel, I don't remember that as much in years past.
Well, I mean, if you recall 4 years ago, we were still in just kind of coming out a little bit of the pandemic stuff. But and that was an unprecedented year where there was more and more encouragement around early voting. I think it's been happening over a lengthy period of time, and I've always been somebody who's been an advocate for this. But I think there's more and more resources that are going into this. The notion of an October surprise or the stuff that can happen late in an election. I think one, in this particular election, there aren't a lot of undecided people out there. Not a lot of people deciding in the last 10 days for the most part. Around these candidates, it's can you get your people to turn out? And there's an encouragement to do that. And again, and I think it's pro-democracy to say if there's a vehicle to allow people to cast their vote legally, efficiently, effectively before Election Day, you do it. Because otherwise, we all know there have been times where places are just overwhelmed on Election Day, and this starts to take that and spread it out over the course of a dozen days or so, and I think that's good for the process.
I do like your story, though, of how you went by once and you saw the line and you thought, I'll come back later, because that's kind of what I wondered initially about the lines just on day one being so long. Like, I'm surprised people didn't say, I'll wait until tomorrow or wait until the next day. It was like, no, people were waiting for a long time in some cases. But
well, I may be showing my age here, but remember, everybody used to always want to go like on Thanksgiving, like, the Black Friday. Everybody went for the big, like there were huge lines that day. The next day is not so bad. Like there were lots of people on the first day. The next couple of days are probably going to be a little bit better. And then it may crescendo at the end when people are doing there. So there is plenty of opportunity for people to do this right now. And I just, I would just say, I applaud the people who are doing that work up front. You can, and I think, I didn't check in with Paulina Gutierrez from the Election Commission. I think you can still sign up to work the polls now. I think there's still opportunities for training, and if I misspoke on that, I apologize to the city, but I know they were still looking for people, and overall, they're looking for like 3,000 people to work, and I think you get paid a couple $100 if you are interested in that. You can also volunteer. If you speak Hmong or Spanish, there's a little additional resource for you. So they are looking for people from the city, from the community to be able to help.
You know what you don't get, though, if you vote early? You don't have a DJ at the poll. DJs at the polls on Election Day. I think that's going to be fun.
That is actually
that might
a very
be
good point.
My determination between do I go on Election Day like I normally do or do I go early? How much do I want to see the DJ?
I'm getting it done early. I like efficiency. I don't like lines. I saw a good friend of mine the other day, Austin Ramirez, CEO of Husco. This is a fantastic Wisconsin company. And Austin has this company out in Waukesha area. It took over from his father, Gus Ramirez. So he's not downtown quite as much, but I did see him downtown the other day and congratulated him because he is receiving the Business Leader of the Year award from the Harvard Business Club of Wisconsin. Can you describe how big a deal this is?
Sure. Well, his father was a previous award winner, I think in like 2015. And if you go back for the last 20 or 25 years, there are leaders throughout southeastern Wisconsin who have gotten this award. And they do a dinner every year, and they honor people who have been very influential in the business community, but just also civically. And Austin certainly fits the bill there with all the other work that he does. And the event that they do actually raises money for scholarships to send nonprofit executives to the Harvard Business School for week-long programs. I can tell you, I've been in the nonprofit sector a lot in my career, and I've been able to do a couple of these and use these scholarships. They pay dividends to the community because you get a chance to connect with nonprofit leaders from across the country and across the world and get the great experience that you get at the Harvard Business School, and you bring that back to your community. So these are great in lots of different ways. One of the great things for Austin is, and I was only familiar with this, only learned recently, he's had some health challenges, because you grew up with him, Greg. He's a champion swimmer. He's in better shape than most people around. But,
yeah, the whole Ramirez family, they have a lot of swimmers in that family.
But they found something in his heart. He went off and did a procedure in England, and is back, and I don't think he missed a beat. I don't think he missed much of his work time, even when he had this going on. But it's great to see that he's on the mend there, but also great that he's being honored in this way by the community and by the state.
Yeah, love to see that. Kudos to him. Something else that's new, nearly $20 million awarded to conserve the Milwaukee River Basin. How is that money going to be used?
Well, this is money from the Inflation Reduction Act, and the main recipient of this is the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewage District. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Milwaukee River Basin has like 800 square miles. It starts in Fond du Lac County, comes all the way down and empties out into Lake Michigan. And so you've got a lot of farmland that's part of that. And over the years, a lot of pesticides, phosphorus gets into that. And this is a part of about $1.5 billion that the federal government has just announced that's coming to this area to conserve property, to ensure that farmers are continuing to farm on these, but also that they're doing things with their crops that are going to ensure that there's less leaching of pesticides into the waterways, that they're going to ensure that somebody doesn't come by and buy that property for commercial development that's going to, push more into the waterways. So it's really about how do you creatively solve some of the environmental challenges. And for people like us who live in the city, the environmental challenges that we have with the Milwaukee River, a lot of them come upriver. They come from cows and, farms that are 100 miles away or 75 miles away from here down to here. And so we have to come up with more regional solutions. And this is one of those things. And I would tell you, the Milwaukee Metropolitan Sewage District, while it operates here regionally, it's one of the more creative organizations. They've got a great leader in Kevin Schaefer, and they've been at the forefront of a lot of these things that are environmentally the right thing to do, good for climate change, but also good for overall economic development in our community as well.
Always interesting information. Joel Brennan, president of the Greater Milwaukee Committee. Appreciate it, Joel.
Thanks, Joel.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. We'll check in again next week. 1228 News next.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Come on out and see us. We are broadcasting live at the Blaines Farm and Fleet Waukesha location just off I-94 Moreland Boulevard. How come? It's the grand reopening of this location here more than half a century, and it is grand indeed. So many reasons to come out. I want to introduce you to Kim Treese. She is the Chief Stores Officer. Kim, you go a lot of places these days and you find yourself looking around for help. That is not the problem here at Blaines Farm and Fleet. You have so many members of your team who are engaging with folks here.
Yes, as soon as you come in, we will help you get the ad, take you to the location, show you how to download the app, and even scan your products to find the right price.
And the downloading of the app is important because you have contests, prizes, all sorts of things, and you can enter to win so many things on that app.
Yes, $10,000 we're giving away over this weekend. That's a lot of money.
I love watching the members of your team also interact with the customers, with your neighbors here in Waukesha. They seem genuinely happy to point people in the right direction.
This is so much much fun. It's like Christmas to us early, Vince. We absolutely adore taking our neighbors to every product that they want.
And you're getting a lot of them in here. Feels like Black Friday today.
Oh, it's bigger than Black Friday.
Thanks so much, Kim. Community is so important to Blaines Farm and Fleet. And WTMJ will be here till the top of the hour, to 1 o'clock at the Waukesha location for this grand opening celebration. Here till 1 o'clock. And festivities, prizes, and deals giveaways run today, tomorrow, and Saturday.
For your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your dinner destination. Aria, nestled on the second floor of St. Kate, is an artful dining experience that captivates with its culinary creativity. Delighting in its offering of artisanal American cuisine, the restaurant transcends tradition and leans into the realm of playful and inventive flavors. Come and experience the magic of Aria, where every bite is a work of culinary artistry. Learn more and make reservations at aria@stkate.com.
When you breathe well, you live better. Find out more at adventknows.com.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. Your top story: long lines, actually a good thing.
I'm Jessica Ty, still trying to get off the ballot.
Mostly sunny, high of 63. Rain likely tonight, some thunder perhaps, a low of 49. Rain tomorrow in the morning, and then partly sunny and a high of 63. 61, we'll call it, here in Milwaukee at 12:33. Decision, Wisconsin. More than 10,000 people have cast a ballot in early voting in the state. Governor Evers tells WTMJ's Political Power Hour the recent tech issues at some of the polling sites shouldn't stop people from getting out there to vote.
There's no reason not to vote. There's obviously a lot of issues in the campaign. As many people as Wisconsin can get to the polls, that's a good thing for us.
Wisconsin Elections Commission confirms that the delays only affect label printing from the WisVote system, which helps with on-site voter registration, and that there's no reason to believe the printing delays were caused by a cyber attack.
Decision, Wisconsin. Second gentleman Douglas Emhoff will join some Bucks coaches in Milwaukee today for a Get Out the Early Vote block party. The event is called Dunk for Democracy. It features Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers and former head coach Terry Porter. Maryland Governor Wes Moore will also be there. At block party is this afternoon at Rose Park in the Harambe neighborhood.
Meanwhile, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. petitions the U.S. Supreme Court to be removed from the Wisconsin ballot. Kennedy's appeal comes after the state's highest court refused to remove Kennedy from the ballot back in September. Kennedy suspended his presidential campaign in August and is currently backing former President Trump. He's currently seeking to have his name removed from ballots in key swing states, but remain on the ballot in remaining states. The emergency petition comes weeks after ballots have already been sent to Wisconsin voter and after early voting has begun.
Looking for change in Fredonia. Neighbors expressed concerns about the intersection at County Highway E and J Road. That's a site where a school bus crashed and rolled over last month, leaving 8 students from Random Lake hurt. Speaking Wednesday at the Traffic Safety Commission meeting, one longtime resident said she saw a dangerous pattern.
Been there about 15 years. Seen multiple accidents at this intersection. In fact, pulling out of my driveway is very dangerous on a daily basis.
32-year-old Becca Stevenson of West Bend was cited for failure to yield from a stop sign after her Jeep crashed into the bus. She's due in court on November 13th.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Siding Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 12:35.
There's a clear choice for U.S. Senate. Career politician Tammy Baldwin wasted trillions of dollars and created crushing inflation. Baldwin opened our borders and gave taxpayer benefits to illegal immigrants. And she voted to put men in girls' sports. Businessman Eric Hovde will stop inflation, secure our border, and defend our Wisconsin values.
I'm Eric Hovde, candidate for U.S. Senate, and I approve this message. Join my team and give today.
Visit WisconsinVictoryJFC.com to give today. Paid for by Wisconsin Victory Committee.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Get the look you want for your home with customizable windows and doors from Pella.
From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, plus innovative features like shades between the glass, integrated roll screens, and noise reduction. Backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Hey WTMJ fans, Gary Olson here for my friends at Best Electric Service, an A-plus Better Business Bureau family-owned and operated who have been serving you for over 50 years. No job is too big or too small, whether it's making electrical panel upgrades, home electrical safety inspections, electrical vehicle charging, and all residential service calls. Best Electric provides quality services at fair prices. They are experienced and licensed electrical contractors ready to get to work. Connect with the Best Electric Service. Find out more at bestelect.com.
Bucks Insiders is sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Best Electric. Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Thursday night football tonight. It's the Rams and Vikings from Los Angeles. And the Bucks are back home after an opening night win over the 76ers. The home schedule begins Friday against the Bulls.
Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. Not too bad. The only incidents we have, one actually right by the Milwaukee County Zoo, 4145 north at the ramp from I-94. Right shoulder is blocked there due to a car that's broken down. And actually, if we travel just a little bit south from there, 41894 north at the ramp from Lincoln Avenue. Right shoulder is also blocked there due to a car that's broken down, but no big crashes out on the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
While you're navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line, 414-238-9329.
Mostly sunny today, a high of 63. Rain tonight under increasing clouds, some thunder possible, low of 49. Chance for rain in the morning on Friday, then sunny and a high of 63. 61 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38. Bucks Insiders on Wisconsin's Midday News, our weekly check-in on your Milwaukee Bucks, and we are so grateful to have a monthly check-in with Bucks President Peter Feigin. The opening night jitters, the pacing, that's all behind you. It was a nice, easy win, and now we're settling in, preparing for the home opener.
Craig, undefeated.
Yeah, right, there we go. Just 81 to go.
Yeah.
How many bags of pretzels did you eat last night? Kind of nervous.
I think we had two. It was a good Trader Joe's night. I had kind of their honey salted pretzel sticks. It worked well. Definitely a bag and a half.
Well, you stayed back because it's obviously going to be a busy night tomorrow at Fiserv Forum. There's always so much to prepare for going into the start of a season, much less any game. What's new at Fiserv Forum? Been a lot of announcements and press releases over the last couple of months.
I think every season it's about, we've got this unbelievable base of a little bit over 11,000 season ticket holders. We've got another 6,000 or 7,000 people who come to the district and to the arena. So surprise and delight and kind of like what that experience is like, everything from game entertainment to like what it looks like audio visual wise to like food experience and kind of like how do you change up the menu and how do you really kind of explore the arena itself, as well as like the little nuances of new Instagrammable locations and moments and fun things. And, for us, it's like, how do we get even more spaces where fans can experience, kind of the game itself and get in close proximity to players and kind of make those special events. So we think of it all as presentation and experiential. Like, how do you make that just incredible?
Speaking of the presentation, do you get to see early the intros as the players come out? Because I love seeing the graphics and how you guys change it up and the beauty shots of Milwaukee. And I was there for the first two preseason games, but the preseason games, it's not the same. The intros, you don't rev it up as much as you do and what fans will see on Friday. So what is it going to be like, that atmosphere on Friday when fans are sitting in their seats and hopefully standing?
Yeah, I think sometimes people don't understand. I mean, this is a 3-hour television production, as well as a radio production, as well as a multimedia production. And in arena, our executive producers spend months, kind of like pre-storyboarding, figuring out the sets. We've got media days and production days with our players and coaches to really create those sets and not only create them, but create nuances of them throughout the season and like templates that you can replace certain players and kind of go. So it's a very like thoughtful, dedicated, production of everything in arena and big, and it'll be very cool. Because again, it's the wow.
I can't wait. I'll be there on Friday. I've got to know your thoughts. Giannis and Dame, are they on the same page now? I know what we saw last night in Game 1. Last year, it was kind of like we didn't have enough time to get on the same page. From what you've seen, are the two on the same page now?
Well, you asked the same question my mother asked like about a week ago, and I asked her, and I was trying not to be a smart aleck to my mother, but I said, like, I think last year they were in the same book. I think by the end of the season they were maybe in the same chapter, and now I think they're getting close to the same page. And it's all repetitions. Like when you really talk to basketball, folks, it's all about repetition, and the more time and the more they get. And I think last night, we think those two are undoubtedly, prospectively, the best pick and roll two that could ever play NBA basketball. Until they get to that moment, it's really like a gel thing to get it done. And you're seeing it happen even last night with Dame and Brooke, of like the kind of pick and rolls and kind of the screens and what it happens. And if specifically those three really gel at the highest level, we're like an awfully tough team to stop offensively.
Hey, is there a sense internally, Peter, not to say that this would really bother anybody, but that, the national perspective is like, let's look at the Bucks roster. Yeah, pretty much the same as it's been. So you like the attention isn't really on the Bucks because there was no headline grabbing move of the offseason. Sometimes that propels a team into discussion.
I love it. So, I think, and personally, if you don't think Dame and Giannis have egos, and it matters not to be on Christmas Day games, and it matters where they're ranked before season, you're extremely wrong, in what matters. So I think there's a great presence in being that underdog and being not thought of. So we've got a sense of pride, we are built to be a championship quality team. And now it's kind of proof, and these are global superstars, generational stars that basically are going to prove to everybody, that you've made a grave mistake underestimating the Milwaukee Bucks.
Do you talk to Giannis about things like that and ego and maybe what kind of gets him a little angry about that or revved up? Because I know you have a little bit different relationship with him than some other people do.
Well, I don't really go into it that deep, but I will tell you, I like to poke the bear. So, Giannis has very few people who, poke the bear. So I might tell Giannis, hey, it looks like you can't play anymore. It's okay. Nobody thinks it's okay. Nobody thinks you're good. You look you look a little mushy.
Mushy. That hurts.
Maybe you're calling it in for the season. And there's no one who's a fiercer competitor. There's no one who plays harder. So all you have to do is poke him about a couple of those things. And by the way, we have a relationship where it gets heated right away to what the importance is. He reminds me that he built Fiserv for him. I had nothing to do with it. That this is his city. He had nothing. But he is, it's what makes him the best. The best.
Well, you were at all the meetings. I know that. You were at all the meetings. We were talking a lot during that process. Bucks President Peter Feigin joining us in studio. Wanted to ask you about the report and discussion about a WNBA franchise here in Peter. Not sure what you can say on it, if anything, but the story is that Bucks ownership has submitted notice to the WNBA that they'd like to be in on potentially having a expansion team for that league in Milwaukee. The idea of WNBA basketball in Milwaukee, is that in the plans, in the vision here?
I think it's an idea that we're definitely interested in and exploring, and that's kind of where it is right now. So I think we'd have to nod for interest in a WNBA team. I think there are a lot of cities that are going to kind of be in this first tranche, and it's been kind of publicized, whether it's San Francisco, Portland, Toronto, but I do think the league will expand. I do think we have an incredible market. I think the summer market is kind of apt to need some more content and programming, and there definitely could be a great opportunity.
How much does it take to put together a bid? What do you have to do to actually say, okay, here's Milwaukee's bid?
Seems like a lot of paperwork, yeah.
No, I think what's important is the NBA obviously is kind of a sister-brother relationship, and a lot of the ownership is shared between the WNBA and the NBA, and the NBA is a large investor in the WNBA. So I think there's a pre-qualifying that you don't actually, it's not like you're buying a company, that you don't really know about. So for us, it's really showing interest. The league is very aware of our ownership group, our financial capability, the way we operate, a building. So I think in the best case, and the league has done it, they'd love to have NBA operators want to expand the WNBA.
It's a hypothetical, I understand, but as part of that proposal, Do you have to indicate where that team would play, and would Fiserv Forum be the ideal location?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's like part of our whole strategy is more content, more content, more content. So the more events we have, the more we aggregate people, the more volume we have, kind of lifts the tide for the Deer District, for the entire neighborhood, and for the city.
Don't you have to get Bango on a Segway rolling through Times Square like you did for the All-Star bid, right?
I think we might get Bango a sister. If that happened, I think there could be. I think we can explore, real brand extensions on Bango.
Darby Doe or something like that.
Darby Doe.
That was very good.
I could come up with something better if it wasn't off the top
very
of my
nice.
head. Darby Doe. But seriously, why is now the time for Milwaukee? I know it's going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen overnight. But why is now ultimately the time for Milwaukee to get a WNBA team?
Well, I don't think there's a set stake in the ground for the time. It's always our time. So how do we think about growth? How do we think about expansion? How do we think about investment in the city? So that's like our ownership group has made that like very clear. I mean, we're always looking at physical real estate, kind of growth in and around the district. We're looking for content growth and different kind of things we can invest in to bring in. So I think, we need this whole city to have this kind of energy and enthusiasm to continue to grow, continue to invest, and kind of explore and take risks and do big things to help us compete nationally for things like a WNBA team.
And Peter, when I got to Milwaukee after college, it was the Bradley Center and a couple of bars that didn't really have much traffic. It was sort of a concrete mess down in that area that was ripe for opportunity, which Bucks ownership has really seized. And now you've got on the former side of the Bradley Center, the construction beginning here on a new concert venue. Roughly 4,500 people will ultimately fit in there. What goes along with that? The idea of a hotel, is there something else coming here in that area?
Oh, no question. Yeah, so we've kind of hinted to and have a letter of interest on the hotel side of doing it, which I think desperately is kind of needed around the convention center and around this entertainment district in a big way. I think the Live Nation venue, in partnership with us, will redefine the entertainment. There is no 4,500 person general admissions, kind of venue, which is kind of the trend which is happening in entertainment and kind of the venue size, like around other large and mid-sized markets to kind of capture what's happening in the music market. So for us, right away, we see this ability to have 50 to 75 more nights that are lit up in the Deer District, which is really important, for the whole neighborhood in the city to begin with. And then just how does that evolve for hotel nights, for restaurant nights, and kind of growth economically.
Who's on your bucket list for this new venue? Because sometimes I think people hear like, oh, it can fit this many people. But sometimes they think about artists. Okay, like Fiserv, you've got Justin Timberlake once he doesn't have laryngitis anymore and he's coming back, with the new show and whatnot. You've got these big artists. So who's on your bucket list to go to this new spot as far as the acts that you could get in?
Yeah, so I think what you're seeing in the whole industry is you're kind of seeing 10,000 and above, which would be the big house and Fiserv Forum, and kind of 5,000 and below. And that 5,000 and below is everything from a John Legend acoustic concert to comedy, to kind of mixed use and kind of having like almost an internal festival of up and rising artists like throughout the night. So, there's a huge market for that. We kind of take, the Sylvie's a good example in Madison of kind of taking emerging artists, that are kind of in that volume of like the 3,000 to 5,000 people, market to really build it. So we see it as like an unbelievable opportunity for growth, like incremental growth for our music business in the city.
Bucks President Peter Fagan urging everybody to get to Fiserv Forum early tomorrow night. Get in your seats for the home opener against the Chicago Bulls. Always great entertainment. What's your game day routine? I feel like you're going to have a long day tomorrow.
Tomorrow, we really have fun. I would say, I feel bad for everybody else because I get so psyched up. We'll have a 4:30 call, kind of go back to your news,
I remember
these
being out there
miserable
with you
news
in the
days.
dark.
We'll have every local and regional news broadcast in to kind of begin some hype. I think we'll have a breakfast for all of our employees that will kind of celebrate the beginning. And then it really becomes like a production day, kind of all the little nuances and things that we want, like a seamless experience, to get in. And unfortunately for every operator, I probably get a little too involved for that to get in because I'm a little micro neurotic about, everything going well. But, my day is pretty easy and kind of waits for the anxiety of the game itself and to get that going. And I'm always happy when it's over, but really excited to kind of fresh start and get the season and kind of get that energy. And we've got a great vibe around the team and around Doc and the building itself. So it should be a lot of fun.
Peter, 3 reasons the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win the NBA championship this year.
Well, I'll give you one reason, but they're 3. Giannis, Dame, and Chris will be one. I think you cannot discount what a better team we are in depth with Gary Trent and DeLon and Prince. I mean, those 3, if you think about who our bench was in prior years, just where the depths are. And then, I'll take Doc Rivers in a full year as kind of performance, as that's how we're going to kind of run through it. And I think we mentioned it earlier. I think being underestimated is going to be a real strength for us. That's a classic Milwaukee thing for me, I think. I love it. It's time to beat our chest and just show by example of trouncing through the league.
Love it. Off to a great start last night with a win over the Sixers. The Bulls are in town tomorrow. We're going to check in with Peter monthly here on Bucks Insiders here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Appreciate it, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, guys. Go Bucks!
You bet. Enjoy the day tomorrow. Our Bucks broadcast begins following the 6 o'clock news tomorrow night. 12:52 on WTMJ.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
My wife and I went to go see Hamilton on Broadway.
It Ain't Right Tour 2024.
Oh my God, it is amazing. We saw it. Oh, it changed me it changed me. Now, as soon as I hear that, I'm like, I ain't gonna like this.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in Milwaukee. Fiserv Forum, November 6th, 2024. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. For more, visit SebastianLive.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano live one more time here at the Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Waukesha. If you haven't been here in a minute, you will not recognize the place. It's the grand reopening. The store is newly remodeled, and we are celebrating. I want to introduce you to Nick Nyer. He is in merchandising. And Nick, you're relatively new to the company. What do you love about working here at Blaine's Farm and Fleet?
Well, first of all, Vince, thanks for having us. I've been here 4 months, and I'd say the thing that's really cool about Blaine's is that we create an incredible experience for our neighbors, and what I mean by that is we have incredible brands. So when you think about Carhartt, when you think about Hillside's Diet, Milwaukee Tool, all the things you might want for your home, we have it at Blaine's. And at we offer incredible values as well. So I would just make an effort to come down here, try us out, and you'll see some great items at great prices and some really friendly associates to help you out.
And in the grand reopening, you're going to make it worth their while. Folks are winning stuff left and right here. I hear the announcement. Somebody just won a gift card. All sorts of things you can enter to win.
Yeah, so there's gift cards. There's sampling on some of the food offerings for our private brands. There's great events that our vendor partners are holding. So if you need to learn something about a new tool or a new brand that you haven't tried, we have exceptional partners to help you learn.
It's a fantastic party out here. We're done until 1 o'clock here, and then things continue into the weekend, though, for the grand reopening today. There are events tomorrow and Saturday as well. It's the Blaine's Farm and Fleet in Waukesha.
When you walk into your bathroom, is it turn this into this? With our SiteX Creepiest Tub or Shower Contest. Enter a picture of your creepy tub or shower space at WTMJ.com for a chance to win a brand new complete tub or shower conversion installed at no cost, up to a $10,000 value. Enter your picture by texting creepy to the WTMJ talk and text line. It's the Creepiest Shower Contest, only here on WTMJ.
Start your weekend tonight with a free dinner at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Fox and Hounds is a Wisconsin treasure. With the fall colors here, the drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest to the Fox and Hounds is a must-see. So is that patio in the woods. You got to check it out. It's gorgeous. Savor a smothered sirloin steak, beef short ribs, seafood, the pecan-crusted salmon, even steak and lobster, and your second dinner is free. Desserts and those famous ice cream drinks, free too. I love the chocolate cake. Unwind with an old-fashioned, bourbon, Manhattan. Choose from 100 wines on a brand new wine list as you dine in one of those gorgeous 8 dining rooms. It's the best dining value anywhere, as your second dinner is free. The Fox and Hounds, just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. Wherever you live, it's worth the drive to see the breathtaking fall colors of the Kettle Moraine. I recommend the Friday all-you-care-to-eat fish fry. It is one of the best. Go out for a free dinner tonight. Tables are open. foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Wrapping up Wisconsin's Midday News on a Thursday, Greg and Jessica. It is the calm before the storm for you, Jessica. I know you're going to Bucks opening night tomorrow. You are fired up. Are you going to be in green tomorrow?
Ooh, that's a good question because I'll probably be in black. I got my black zip up that I like a lot that's got the Bucks logo on it. It's simple but sleek. It's just kind of my go-to.
Yeah. All right.
I do have a green one as well, but I don't like it as much.
Well, you get after it in Buck season. You are frequently found at Fiserv Forum.
Well, and here's the thing. Today I have a Bucks Yeti that I got last year from the Bucks, and I thought about bringing it today because I knew we had Peter Fagan coming on as a guest. I thought, I might do that. Oh, no, or maybe I save it for tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited, though. Isn't it fun to see out in the city because they've got the flags now on the bridges. You've got some buildings that are going to be lit up green for the season.
Murals.
It's just a good time, the energy.
Yeah, there's so much time and attention put into opening day in the world of baseball, and rightfully so. It's sort of a national holiday. And not to be lost in that is the excitement of the opening of really any season with your major professional sports teams. And the Bucks are off to a good start. They're going to be a playoff team for sure. If they're healthy, they could win a title. Like, it really, that is not a far-fetched statement, given how talented they are. So it all begins tomorrow at home anyway, and they come home with one win. Just 81 to go.
I love that. And did you notice when I asked Bucks president Peter Fagan to give me 3 reasons why the Bucks were going to win the championship this year? He kind of just rattled off a ton.
Yeah.
He had more than 3.
He's been thinking
Love
about
that.
it. We are back again tomorrow with Wisconsin's Midday News. News is coming up next, followed by Spanning the State.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
The Brewers and the Bucks have been closely watching this Valley Sports parent company because fans want to know how they're going to continue to watch these games.
Entertainment.
Ryan Turek, Vice President of Feature Film Development for Blumhouse.
That movie really connected with audiences because it felt like it could happen to you.
And more every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Hey, make it a Palermo's day or night in your household. I'm telling you, everybody is going to be happy. WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. Palermo's made in Wisconsin for 60 years. That's right, celebrating its 60th anniversary of making the best tasting frozen pizzas you will find. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Pick up a Connie's or a Primo Thin, maybe an Urban Pie or a neighborhood pizzeria pizza. There's Surfer Boy, there's Screamin' Sicilian. If you've not tried any of these brands, try them. Try them all. Pick up a few, pick one tonight, and enjoy. Make everybody happy in the house with Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Take your home from clean to immaculate. Save up to $100 on select models right now at West Bend Vacuum Center, including central vacuum systems, HEPA vacs, and cordless vacs. Save even more when you trade in your old vacuum. Shop Sebo, Mila, Simplicity, and Riccar vacuums. Don't miss the big sale going on now at West Bend Vacuum Center for an exclusive price.